Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Ermac from Mortal Kombat. I've done him in largely the same way that I did Reptile, but you'll see the colors here are a little different. We've got black, red, and skin tone of your choice. If you want to add beads or bands for the eyes, you can. Just watch that they're not so dark that they'll blend with the hair here. We're going to do the arms to start. Grab 2 skin tone bands, wrap them on your hook 1, 2, 3 times, pull onto 3 sets of double black bands, this is for his little gloves, or maybe it's a wrist guard, I'm not too sure. And 3. Then we will be going back to skin tone, and we have 3 sets of skin tone bands. I'm going to give you an option for the last set. So double sets. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Now I found, looking at my finished Ermac, that his shoulders look kind of more skin tone than red. So what I'm going to do this time is, for my final set of double bands, I'm going to use red, and I'm thinking that's going to make the shoulders a little redder here. So last set, double red. You can leave this here or put it on a separate holding hook. And we're going to make the second arm in the same way. So we want those 2 skin tone bands. Put them on the end of your hook and twist 1, 2, 3 times. Goes onto 3 sets of double black bands. This is 1, 2, and 3. Back to skin tone 3 times, double bands. 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to use red again for my last set. Double red bands. Alright, move these out of the way, and we're going to make our legs. We're starting with black, 2 black bands, wrap them on your hook 1, 2, 3 times. Pull that onto 2 black bands. Center it, replace the other side, take 2 more black bands, wrap them on the end of your hook 1, 2, 3 times. And take that first piece, separate, and pull the 2 sides closest to you over so that your wrapped one sits in the middle now. Pull all of this onto 2 more black bands and try and keep your bands in order as you go. Otherwise it can look really sloppy after. Center it a little bit. We're going to do one more set of wrapped bands on the end here. So take 2 bands, wrap them 1, 2, 3 times, and bring the closer side of that first set over so that your newly wrapped bands sit in the middle. And this goes on to 1 doubled over black band. So take a black, stretch, twist, bring it back onto itself, pull it through. Center it as best you can. And we're going to put this onto 2 sets of double red bands. So that's 2 bands together here. And a second time. We're switching to black and we want 3 sets of double black bands. Alright, there's one leg done. Let's make the other one. Same thing. Go a little faster this time. Double black, wrap 1, 2, 3, pull into 2 double black, or into 2 more blacks. Replace, wrap another 2 on the end. Bring those into the middle. Pull onto double black bands. Replace, another 2 wrapped on the end, 1, 2, 3 times, pull that to the middle, take a single, stretch it, double it over, slide it through, we're still trying to keep this in order, there we are, onto 2 sets of double red, 1 and 2, 3 sets of double black. And put your hook on the side, pull out your loom, check that it's in the opposite configuration. We're going to start at the top with double black bands. Come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I believe that's right. From the top center downwards. Oh, 6 times altogether. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Come from the top, or sorry, the second center to the second right with double black bands, and second center to second left with double black bands. On either side, we're going to come down with 4 sets of double red bands, starting at the second peg down. So that's 2 bands on each set of pegs here. Now this is going to look a little different from some other patterns, but basically we are going to continue down the middle row now with 4 sets of double red bands, starting at the 7th peg down. Down 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to add some on the sides, and then we're going to loop up part way before adding the next piece. Now on the sides we are coming down, let's see here, another 4 times with double red bands. So this should end just, sorry guys, let me just double count that here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think it is only 7. 7, 8. No, that's good. Weird. Okay. So this will end right above and just to the side of your middle row. Repeat for the opposite side. I'm not sure why I was thinking this was one shorter, but this looks right here. We're taking 2 red bands. Just trying to zoom in here a little bit. And coming down from the last peg you used on the side, which is your 4th peg from the bottom, to the 3rd peg up from the bottom of the loom in the middle. 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Repeat that for the other side. We are going to cap off the bottom middle, single band, put it on that 3rd peg from the bottom of the middle, wrap 1, 2, 3 times. And we're going to do doubled over holding bands, all red, all the way to the top. Something's really funny here. Okay. Take a single red, twist it around, double it over, put it across your 3rd pegs down. It's going to show up as a triangle. And do that on the 4th ones down. And for every set below. So we're going to have a total of 8 of these, it looks like. And this is what you've got. And we are going to loom this up the middle and then up the sides until we reach the black. So this is what it looks like. Go to that 3rd peg from the bottom in the middle and get under your cap band. And you're going to get the next 2 bands, which will go up to the right. Let's make sure we're getting the right ones here. And you'll see a neat little teardrop shape. Find the next 2 and bring them over to the left. Don't let the cap band come off, and the last 2 are where we will loop forward. Then we loop up the center until we get to the black one. So that's 2, 3, 4 times we go forward. Now on either side we're going to loop until just above the black. So we loop up, get the bottom 2, push back the cap bands, the holding bands, go up 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. Stop there. Opposite side, same thing. 1, 2, push back the holding bands. 3, 4. Now this part you want to be really careful because we don't want to take off anything that isn't secured. Count to your 6th peg down on the side. This is the last one you looped onto. Hold onto those bands and release the bands off of all of the pegs below it on that side, and just pop them over and into the middle. Just like that. Leave the middle row the way it is. On the other side, hold that 6th peg, remove all of the bands that are on the side going down, and bring them towards the middle. We want them to stay here, keep them on the center row. So like I said, this is a little different from what you might be used to seeing. It probably looks a little funny, but we will be connecting everything, bringing it all together. Now we switch to black, and we're going to come down 4 times with double black bands, starting at that 6th peg down. I'm actually going to lift up the last red bands I looped, put on my 2 black, and then put the red back on top. Now you don't have to do this part, but it looks a little nicer. Come down 3 more times with double black bands. Same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to take off those reds for just a minute. Just the top part that I looped. So I have 2 loops on my finger here. They're going back on top of those 2 blacks I added. Then we have 3 more rows of double black bands. Okay, next step, add your legs onto the bottom. So bands on your hook. It should be right at the end here. The black from the legs that goes on to the 4th peg from the bottom of the loom on one side, and same on the opposite side. Arms can be transferred onto the 2nd pegs down on either side. And what we're going to do is connect this middle red section to the black side. To do that, we grab a piece from the top side of this red patch. Bring it over the peg on the side. And repeat for each of the ones below. So we do this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. I'm trying to get from the same place here. And 4 times right over where the leg is. We'll do this again for the other side. Now in the middle, we are going to come to the 7th peg down where the black starts, and we can loom up pretty much all the way. I think we're going to stop at the 2nd peg from the top. On either side, we're going to be going under the legs, finding the bottom 2 blacks and looping those forward, and continuing to loop the blacks up until we get to the red piece, and then just stop before that. So when you see the red piece coming, what I want to do, again, this is optional, but it will make it look a little nicer. Pull off the top 2 red again, leave them on the hook, put them on your hand, put them on the side, loop up your next black, replace the red, come back inside and loop up to the arm. And double reds on the bottom only. Reach through the arm, grab your 2 black bands, pull them towards the 2nd center, and we need to do all of this for the opposite side. Just checking everything's looped in here. It looks nice and tight. Good. We can keep going. If you do see anything coming loose, try and correct it now, or at least grab it so that you can secure it before things unravel. I popped off those red again, bringing up the black, and now we continue to the top. Two black bands under the arm, go to the 2nd center, and from the 2nd down in the center, we're going to loop up 1 time, hold on to the bands on that top peg, and the rest of this can be eased off your loom. And you got most of your guy loosened up here. You can put your hook through the bands on the top center peg and take them off. Decide on the side that you want for your front. And face that away from you. So this is the back looking up. If you have anything loose, what you can do is put your hook through, grab your loose band, pull it under another band, put it on a C-clip. We are going to add the belt in just a little bit, but first let's make the face here. 2 black bands from the top peg to the to the top side peg, to center peg to the top left peg, come down once on each row with double black bands. Take a set of double skin tones, come down once in the middle, second peg to third peg, and come from the second side peg to the third center peg with double skin tone bands. So it's crossing inwards diagonally. Do this again from the other side. Second right to the third middle. Then we want 2 sets of double red bands coming down on each row. Take 2 red bands, come from the 4th side to the 5th center, repeat for the opposite side, and we're going to use some doubled over red holding bands to finish this off. Double a red over, bring it across your 4th pegs down, another across your 3rd pegs down, going the opposite direction here, one more across the 2nd pegs down. We're ready to loop up. Okay, let's put our body on, back facing upwards, because this is gonna turn around when we flip it. Get under the neck, you can pull it under another peg if you need to. Find your top 2 bands and bring them to the left. Next 2 go to the right, and last ones go up. Can loom up one more time in the middle. Go to that 3rd peg down in the middle, find your top 2 skin tone bands. They don't want to be found here. Bring them up to the right side. Next 2 go to the left side, and then you can loop up the rest of the way in the middle. Okay, we're going up the side 3 times. Sorry about that, I got company here. And we're coming into the middle. Oops. Felt that get tight, that means I caught an extra band. Last one is going into the middle from the top right. Come up the left side, same thing, bottom reds, once, twice, 3 times. Come into the middle one more time, grab a black band, and we're gonna secure this. So put your hook through the top center, grab the black, pull it through. Opposite side goes on, and you'll pull the further side over the top of the hook to create a slip knot. This will go on a C-clip. For now I'm just going to hold it as I remove this from the loom. Okay, flip it around. If you've got anything loose, try and catch it, tighten it up. I'm going to turn to the back side, put my hook under a close band, grab my securing band, slide it through, put this on a C-clip. We have one more thing to do. Let's put this under another band so it doesn't flop. Okay, so last thing is for the belt. I'm going to take 5 red bands. This is actually one of the easiest belts to make. Stretch them over the legs and pull them to the middle. Kind of even them out in place here. Now we go to the back side. We're going to take 1 band underneath, put the hook under, reach over, grab 1 band that's on top, pull the lower one over the top and over the top of the hook, and this goes on a C-clip. Okay, so I do have more Mortal Kombat figures out. They are on my channel. They'll be on the, I'll put this on the playlist with them. I hope you check them out. And I thank you for watching.